And the compass, the local attractions, some errors can be there. So there will be some places where you have more and more local attractions. So in that case, you'll be going for plain table survey. You'll be going for plain table survey. So where you can plot, okay, where you can take the observations and plot continuously. And here there are different kinds of tables again. Here again we have different kinds of tables. So Johnson tables, Travers table, cost survey table, based on the dimensions of it. Based on the dimensions, you are going to have different kinds of tables. So along with that, you are going to have plumbing fork, spirit level, compass, and a drawing sheet, etc. And there are different methods of plane surveying. One is radiation surveying, where whenever the points are accessible, then you can go for radiation surveying. Whenever the points are inaccessible, you can go with the intersection method, reversing resection. So this can be done to check the contour and prepare contour maps and topographical maps. And any kind of errors can be detected easily using the check lines. And it is accurate up to 85% basically. Okay, and for small sites this can be used. And now comes the theodolite survey. So previously compass is only given to give you horizontal angles, but this one is going to give you both horizontal angles and also vertical angles. It is going to give you horizontal angles and also vertical angles. So first of all, you need to understand this instrument. Okay, understand this instrument, like what kind of observation you are taking, what kind of theodolite you are using, because there are different kinds of theodolites, transit and non-transit. Okay, so it's what is phase left, what is phase right, what is swinging, what is repetition method, what is direct method. So all these kinds of things, and how to check the readings, what is the 1 year scale, what is the least count, everything you have to check that. So first of all, you have to understand the theodolite instrument, and then you can go with the angles, both vertical angles and horizontal angles. So till previously, like about 20 years before, this was the instrument that is being used. Even now they are using it. That was a modern instrument in the 20 years time. And the next thing is tachyometric survey. So tachyometric survey, again, you are going to use only theodolite, but here that is a survey where you include both horizontal distances and vertical distances. You include horizontal distances and vertical distances. Okay, directly from the instrument you are going to get. So here you can see. So this is the horizontal distance, this is the vertical distance. Based on the angles, you are going to measure the distances. So here again, different kinds of methods you have, stadia system and tangential system. So, and also if the distance and elevations are in horizontal angles one kind, and if the staff held normally, then that is one method. And if the staff held vertically, one method, and staff held is normal, then the formulas will change. Okay, so Ks plus C you are going to have. So there is K and C are nothing but the instrument constants that you are going to have. And coming to this theodolite or tachyometry, you are going to have the temporary adjustments and the permanent adjustments. So that you have to take care of whenever you are going to do it. And coming to tachyometric survey, either the both angles can be at the elevation, okay, and the both angles can be depression in case of valleys, and both one angle can be an elevation and another one can be a depression. So depending upon the purpose, your formulas are going to change in the tangential method of tachyometric survey. And then comes the most important one, leveling survey. Why you have to do leveling and what is leveling? So to determine the vertical distances, vertical elevations, okay, nothing but like so till now we have done for some areas. Okay, we are going to some area, and that area, whether it is, if at all that is not a hilly area, then you can do with chain and compass. If at all that is a hilly area, then you can go with the theodolite and you can do it. Tachymetric theodolite, you can use it and you can do it. But now the survey, now the problem is I want to align a road, or else I want to align it. So during that, I need to know the undulations on the ground. I need to know the undulation on the ground. So how to get that? So for that, I need to use the dumpy lever. Okay, that along with that, I need to use this leveling step. I need to use this leveling step, and I need to take the readings there. So as I said, this is the benchmark. So benchmark is taken as the reference point. So this benchmark is taken from depending upon the local railway station, or else depending upon some local government office. So from that, I'm going to take this reference point. Okay, from there I'm going to take this reading. So backside, foresight, backside, foresight, and in between I'm going to take the height of the instrument. And this is very, very important because I'm telling you my experience here. So when I was in BTech, so there was a firm company which came for the placement, and there we had some written exam. So in that written exam, what they have done is they have given us 8 questions, eight questions out of 8 different subjects, and out of that you need to attempt any 5, and that one question is from leveling. In that leveling, what they are given is they are given a table, station points, backside readings, foresight readings, height of instrument, and RLs, reduced levels they are given. In that, some data was missing, some points were missing, and they have asked me to fill that data. Okay, that was given as per the height of instrument method. So actually, I was not comfortable with height of instrument method, so that I converted into rise and fall method, and then I have calculated it. Okay, then luckily I got shortlisted for the interview. Then after going to the interview, that interviewer has placed the my answer sheet on the table. Okay, some out of 50, I got some 35, 36 marks. So then he was asking, like, how you have done this? How do you have done this leveling problem? So then I said, so I have explained everything. So that is the one of the important one, because depending upon the company projects, okay, depending upon company project, they're going to ask the question related to that, because that company was majorly having the highway contract. So they were considered about leveling geotech, so about sand property, about soil property. So these kind of things. So it is very, very important because of this leveling. You are going to, how you have to do is like, suppose this is the undulations, this is ground that you have. So this ground I want to make it level. So this ground I want to make it a straight line. So what I'm going to do is, okay, this part I need to cut, this part I need to fill, this part I need to cut, this part I need to fill. So cutting and filling need to be done. So this cutting I need to align in such a way that this cutting and filling is will be mostly same. Ideal condition is to find out the balancing depth. And whenever you're aligning something, aligning a road, so you have to make sure that you are not entering into private property. Much means like less private property you have to enter. Most of the property should be government property, so that there won't be any land issues. Okay, and at the same time, you have to concern about safety also. Whenever you are aligning something, you should not take a blind curves. Okay, so instead of this kind of blind curve, you can go from here to here. Okay, so like that you have to take. Suppose one more example, in Hyderabad Metro Rail, when I was there, so it was in construction stage. At assembly was there. Okay, assembly was there. So there, suppose this is the assembly. Okay, so consider this as the assembly. So previously the alignment was like, the metro element was like this. It is going like this, but due to security reasons, after the construction, though the cost has been increased, they have changed that alignment like this, means a bit far away from the assembly due to security issues. So depending upon the purpose, safety, cost, so you have to align your you have to align your okay. So where the cost will be less to where you will be getting a balancing depth. So like that, you have to prepare your DPR. Okay, first of all, when you prepare detailed audit report only, then based on that, the government will be sanctioning funds. So you have to prepare in optimal level. You have to prepare. And next thing is the electromagnetic EDMs, electronic distance measurements. So in this electromagnetic distance measurement, so all this what we have seen. So we have to go to on ground and we have to do it. Sometimes points may be accessible or inaccessible. So, but in case of EDMs, so it consists of two parts. One is master and another one is remote. Okay, so this master is okay like this, something like total station. So this is going to give a signal. This is going to give a signal to a vertical stack. Okay, and that is going to collect that signal and it is going to automatically giving me the distance and everything. And here there are two types of instruments again. So optical instrument and microwave instrument. Optical instrument means what you can see. Okay, so that the light you can see that. Okay, and because of that the penetration will be less. The penetration is less for an optical instrument. So now there is an abstraction. Okay, so then the reading your signal won't penetrate and you won't be getting readings. So in that case, you have to go with the microwave instrument where you have more penetration. And coming to photogrammetric survey, so all this up to EDM, you have to go to field and you have to do it. But here, you're going to do the survey based on the images. And here also you have two different types: terrestrial image and also aerial image. Terrestrial photogrammetry and aerial photogrammetry. Terrestrial photogrammetry means where there is a connection between your camera and the ground. There is a connection between your camera and the ground. Nothing but suppose like on a crane, if at all you are fixing a camera, then you can take the photographs. On a gantry girder at a site, for the tip at the tip of the gantry girder, you can place one camera and you can take the photos of the each and every offset. It is going to move it circularly, right? So at the gantry girder, if you place the camera, then you take the pictures of the total site. And the other one is aerial survey, where you use a balloon or an aircraft to do the survey. Okay, means where there is no connection between the camera and the ground. So like this, one flight is going to be there. So that is going to move at different heights. Like depending upon the purpose, different heights it is 300 meters, 600 meters. So depending upon the purpose, that is taken. It is going to take a series of images, and in between you are going to get some overlapping region. So because the advantage of overlapping region is you can get you can develop a 3D model. Okay, you can develop a 3D model. So now another classification based on surveying. So till now we have done based on instruments. So depending upon the function, we're going to just go through. Survey. So geological survey here, this has been done by Geological Survey of India, where due to the information of that particular location, rocks, also the you need to they'll be doing structural geology, mineralogy, optical geology, and oceanology. They are going to do hydrology, environmental geology, so paleontology. So there are different segments in this geological survey. Okay, so every thing will be done by a separate team. So they are going to give you the suppose if at all they are doing only water bodies. Okay, so how the river is flowing, where the river is flowing, and its base flow. Okay, so based on that, if they prepare a map, that will be a hydrological map, and based on the forestation. Okay, based on the forest distribution, if they prepare a map, so like this. So depends, like depending upon the purpose, they are going to do the survey and they are going to produce the maps here. Okay, and next thing is mine survey. So mines. So what are the minerals and rocks minerals that you are getting? Irons, iron ore, bauxite, everything. So mine, first of all, you have to locate where is mine, and you have to calculate how much amount of, suppose if at all we are going on a site, just bauxite. And so at that particular site, how much amount of bauxite is still there? Okay, so how much amount of bauxite need to be taken every time, every day? How much amount of bauxite is being taken out of it? Okay, that kind of survey need to be done. Okay, and one more point is mine surveying has been done for tunnels also. Okay, and I everyone knows who is Elon Musk. So Elon Musk has been what he's been doing is to reduce the traffic. Everyone thinks that to reduce the traffic to go from one city to another city, we need to go for air taxis, but he doesn't believe in air taxis. So what he's doing is he's believing in uh, tunnels. He want to prepare tunnels from one city to another city. Okay, tunnels not like of this much height. Okay, we are just going to prepare a tunnel of where a car can fit, where a car can fit. Okay, and he is going to prepare a tunnel uh, where we can go with the 250 kilometers per hour speed. Okay, and he is believing in 3D tunnels. So this is kind of for that kind of thing you need to know about this kind of mining survey. Okay, so that might be coming to India later coming years. Okay, under like tunnel trafficking. So let us. And next thing is archaeological survey. Uh, Whenever you get something, whenever you're going to site, at some place you can find the traces of a temple. At some place you can find the traces of a residential building. At some place you are going to find out the traces of some dead bodies. So they are going to get all the data, and they are going to prepare a map like this. Okay, they're going to prepare a map like this. Okay, where the temples are located, where the fort is located, where the civilization, where the common people used to live, where the king used to live. So how many ways to go to temple or something like that, then to prepare it. And the next important one is military survey. So this is critically, it has been developed for a military. So there they use this aerial surveys, what we discussed yesterday. This kind of aerial started in the time of World War I and World War II. So there, for pigeons, they used to fix the camera, they used to leave it into their countries. Okay? Like that. And now, later on, using that, this kind of survey was used for civil purposes also. And next things, we are doing the survey to build a house. So to plan the business. So that is what we there are survey when you locate the water bodies, the river flows, okay, and its flows also going to take this. And remember, after aerial survey also, it is sometimes very difficult to take it up because it is a costly affair and sometimes aircrafts may not be available. So that reason, finally what they have got is satellite service. They got the satellite service where the satellites will be rotating around the earth. So until 1972, satellite survey that was used by only the government people and military people. For the civilians, it is being got after 1972. Okay, so that is what we are using our Google Maps. Those kind of things are coming from the satellites. So using satellites, you can see like how much amount of deforestation is being done, how much amount of minerals is being mining is being done every day. So all these kinds of data due to repetitive data, like it is going to rotate around the earth, okay, and it is going to capture the images. So from that we are going to see like how much amount of deforestation of the river, the flow during the rain, what is the flow during the flooding time. So this repetitive data is going to give you that. Okay, this kind of aerial survey conducted. So here camera and remember, here also we have, whenever you have satellite survey, again there also you have like optical images and microwave images. Where like optical images means whenever you have a cloud, so the optical images, that signal cannot penetrate from the cloud. It just need to be taken. So based on the this survey, suppose some flooding happened. Okay, some flood during the survey, you can see how much amount of damage has been done to the crops. Okay, how much amount of fields are being watered. So that is what government does. Okay, this kind of aerial survey. Based on that, we calculate. Okay, this much amount of land is being flooded, so this much amount of loss in, so when we the uh, so where you can locate, where you can find the distances, okay, from stars to sun, from Mars to Earth. Okay. Suppose now we are sending satellites to Mars. So we are sending satellites to Mars. So we need to know location or the evolution of the. When it is nearer to that, then we're going to send this satellite so that and also successful. If from send the satellite, it is difficult there. Okay, so for that you need to have this astronomical survey, and this astronomical survey not only is modern science, it is also ancient science. So based on stars and everything itself, based on stars and moon rotations, our ancestors used to do it. Do the calculations like very school moon day when say moon day, so this kind of things they used to do it. Okay, and this kind of surveying. So some of the surveyings involve not only civil engineering but also some other aspects. Like, this astronomical survey always not only civil engineering. So some like those who are studied physics, physical. So that people can be there. Suppose mining is there, so mining engineering is separate. So those people and also geological people. So those who have done MS geology, so these kind of people also need to collaborate. So some surveys can be done only of civil engineers, but some surveys need to have a collaboration with the others. Also. And finally, what I suggest is when survey is very, very important, and we need to select a kind of surveying, okay, where very quickly, where you can do it accurately, and where you can do it with low cost. So all these three you have to keeping in mind. You have to do it, and you have to prepare a DPR for any project. How quickly you can do, how accurately you can do, and how at how whatever is like at lesser cost. How less you can do. So based on these three things, you have to option of surveying. What method I need to adopt? What kind of instruments I need to use? What kind of calculation I need to do? So this kind of this kind of things need to be taken into account. So it is very, very important based on the placement levels also industries require. So whatever the project it is, whether it is a dam construction, whether it is a road, whether it is building, survey is the basic thing for any kind of construction. Okay, so depending upon the don't think like this is for only for road alignment. So like this is for any kind of construction. So I hope this session is informative for you.